Hey, good morning, everybody. This is the Big JB for Morning Thunder on Monday. I seem to be spraying here while I'm talking. It is, thankfully, a little overcast today. It has been unbearable over the weekend. Temperatures here in Seattle ranged in the 90s to mid-90s on Saturday and Sunday. Oh my gosh. Look, I don't care where you live. If you live in a house without air conditioning, which we all do here in Seattle, except maybe really rich folks or brand new homes, that is unbearable. Absolutely unbearable. 90 degrees in a house with no air conditioning, unbelievable. So we were all trying to find ways to stay cool. Thanks to a very generous friend of mine, he gave me a little room air conditioner, and our room was a little sanctuary for people. Our son fell asleep in there, but we have been trying everything. We've tried to create swamp coolers for the kids' rooms. I can explain that another time if people don't know what that is. We've tried giving the kids cool washcloths to go to sleep. I mean, it has been really tough. So thankfully, today's supposed to be a little cooler. We'll get a little bit of relief from that. So, hey, buckle your seatbelts, folks, because today's probably going to be a long one. That's all I have to say about that. Let's see. This weekend was my brother's wedding, and so we did it. We've done it. It's done. We're all done. My brother, whose name I'm not going to divulge on here, is married to a fantastic woman, and I'm excited for them. I'm ecstatic that they're actually married, and they are on their honeymoon. They're taking a trip of the western United States. They're going to visit a whole bunch of different of the national state parks, many of which I've never seen, and I don't think my brother's seen either. Yellowstone National Park, Goblin Valley, I think, which is in Utah. That's the place where they filmed part of Galaxy Quest. That's the part where they land on the planet to get the beryllium sphere. Yes, I do know that reference, and yes, I am nerdy enough to remember all of that. I think they're going to go to the Grand Canyon. They're going to stop in Tucson to see our family. So they're doing a really cool tour. And it turns out that what they asked for everybody to do was, instead of providing traditional gifts, to provide money or gift cards to help them make that dream come true. So people gave them Subway cards, gas cards, Applebee's cards, and cash to be able to make that trip. So they got more than enough, apparently, to be able to make their journey. So I'm very ecstatic for them. Before I continue on about the wedding, there's a couple things I want to do. I want to give a shout out to my dude Chris B., who I hope is watching this today. He talked to me over the weekend and told me that he was subscribing and that he really enjoys the video. So, hey, thank you very much for your comments, and I want to give you a little shout out here on the video. It was good hanging with you this weekend at the wedding. And let's see, the other thing, I found an app. For those of you trying to get a little bit more exercise, I know that for me personally, I need to get a little bit more exercise, and I enjoy doing push-ups. My upper body strength is typically the first thing to go. I've got some pretty big legs, so I don't usually need to work on those. I've got a pretty big stomach, so I need to work on that. But my upper body strength, because I don't use it that often, just tends to be pretty weak. So I found an app just called Push-Ups. And what it does is it sets up a program for you. So what you do is you tell it how many push-ups you can do, and then it will give you a program, and you can tell it you want to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And what it'll do is it'll remind you. It sets up a little reminder, and it'll tell you, you can tell it what time you want your reminder, and it walks you through a process that will build your upper body strength and the number of push-ups you can do. And so I told it that I could do 10. Right off the bat. Now, I probably could do more than 10 in a single sitting, but I'd really have to push through it, to be honest. So, I'm a big guy, 6'4", 250 pounds. That's a lot to move. So, what it does is it gives you a set to do, and then it tells you it gives you a break, and then it gives you another set to do, and usually it changes the number. So, like, if I did 10, I think the first day it did 2, and then take a 60-second break, and then do 3 60-second break, then do 2 60-second break. So that's kind of how it breaks things up. I'm going to take a second and close my window here, because somebody just pulled up next to me, and I don't want them to hear what I'm talking about. So that app is really cool. I found it super helpful. Today was a 90 minute, right? A 90-minute break between 2 push-ups and then 3 push-ups. A 90-second break between push-up sets, and I'm enjoying it. So I know that a few people have downloaded apps that I've recommended, so I definitely recommend that app called Push-Ups. I don't know if it's free anymore. It was free when I got it. So 2 other apps that I'm going to recommend that people get because of the free apps they recommend. One is called App O Day, and the other one is, I think, App Gratis. I think is what it's called. And typically, they've picked some apps that have been really good. They have good screenshots, other user ratings. I've downloaded a few things from them that I'm really enjoying. So it's worth checking out, even if you don't download the stuff that they have on there. So I did that, did the apps, did the shout out. I did a trailer. I did an audio trailer for the Instance podcast. It's a World of Warcraft podcast, which is my favorite. There are several others out there that are also very good, but the Instance is, I think, the best one out there. It's by Scott Johnson, who I'm sure that I've mentioned before. He also does the Instance, the Old Republic edition, and Hypothetical Help, and a couple others that I listen to. Very cool stuff. So I enjoy listening to that. And it wasn't this past Friday, so it was a week ago, this past Friday, when they had a little segment on their show where they were talking about the Instance movie. And they were joking around about people casting stuff. And through the whole podcast, there were little things that they said that were great. And so what I did was I pieced together a audio trailer for them, and I'm going to go ahead and link it in the notes down below so that you can listen to it if you choose. And so Scott, who has 30,000 followers on Twitter, retweeted it, and so did Terpster, and I got a lot of great feedback and a lot of great comments on that, which really made my weekend. It was really cool to be acknowledged by both Terpster and Scott. Was really awesome. Because I love their shows. Honestly, I'd love to be a part of it in more than just a submitting segments kind of thing, because I like their shows. I like them. I've been listening for a long time. It'd be really awesome to be a part of what they do. Okay, so that's out of the way. So, he's married. My brother's married. And dude, don't take this the wrong way, but I'm very glad everything is done. I'm sure that you and your bride are also glad that everything is done. It's a lot of work. For those of you who've never been in a wedding, it's a lot of work. Even if you're not the best man, even if you're not part of the wedding party, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. And you know, the gas for traveling back and forth to locations, buying or renting things that you need, like tuxes and stuff. That's, you know, my whole family was in the wedding, and so we had 2 tuxes to rent and 2 girls' dresses. We already owned the dresses. We had to buy new shoes. We had my eldest daughter's hair done. We bought her a dress. So, you know, it's all worth it. So I don't want my brother and his wife to think that I'm complaining about it. I'm not. I'm just stating a fact. It's an expensive thing to do, and I was the best man, and what an honor to do that for my little brother. I mean, that was incredible. I enjoyed doing that, and I love being a best man. I think that the best man, I think, has a lot of responsibility, and there are certain things that I view the best man's responsibilities as. That might have been a weird sentence. Anyway, you know, like helping out at the reception. They didn't have an official wedding coordinator, and so it's, you know, kind of fell to me and a couple other people there. The lady who was the host helped to. Sorry, I've got a weird reflection, so I feel like my eyes are kind of every once in a while because I'm trying to focus on the camera, but I keep focusing on the reflection. There was a lady who hosted, and she did a marvelous job, and her parents opened up their home. They've got a nice big backyard, and it was nice and wooded and cool in the shade. Of course, my brother, like me, picked the hottest day of the year to get married, which was great, in a black tuxedo. So the guys were amazing. The groomsmen were fantastic. They dealt with it like champions. Besides saying that it was hot, there was no complaining about it. Everybody really stepped up to make it special. So I helped out a lot, as well as the lady who hosted at her parents' house, to get everything done and make sure that stuff fell into place. I helped make sure that the teardown was coordinated. I kind of emceed the toasts and getting them off once we were all done. And boy, I'll tell you, it was a lot of work, but I think that if you are the best man or the maid of honor, that you have a responsibility. You got to step up. You got to step up and help when stuff needs to get done. Take the pressure and the burden off of the groom and the bride, and make it so that they have a great time and they don't have to worry about anything. Because really, it's the last thing you want to do. You just got married. You want to enjoy the moment. You want to feel like you're being celebrated and not feel like you've got to coordinate stuff. So that's what I tried to do for them. And you guys, my brother and his wife, you guys, I am very proud of you. And I said a lot, during the toast, and I could have gone on for a long time. My brother and I have a very special relationship, as I've mentioned here on the podcast before, and I just really couldn't be happier for the two of them. His wife is a great woman, and I think that she, like my wife, is a saint for putting up with our shenanigans. And I think that the two of them are really great together. So congratulations again to them. And I thank everybody for sticking with me for so long. I know that this is a bit longer than I normally go, but had a lot to say today. I am probably going to stop this and record another section for tomorrow because I got a lot on my mind that I want to say. So if you see tomorrow's video and go, hey, wait a second, it looks exactly the same setting, same shirt, same light quality and everything. Well, that's because it is. And I'm going to record tomorrow's right now. And I may change that tomorrow if I got something else that comes up, but I have a lot on my mind. So if you see me looking the same tomorrow, that's why. I thank everybody for tuning in, everybody for tuning in. And I would very much appreciate it if you haven't already subscribed to my channel here on YouTube, even if you don't normally watch or normally have a subscription that you follow. It helps me to kind of keep track of how many people are listening and subscribing, and so I would appreciate it if you haven't gone to YouTube and subscribed. Please do so. That would be really great help for me. I thank everybody for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for liking this video. I will see everybody tomorrow. Bye.